Morning. I want to thank you all for watching this. I wanted to come and have a talk with y'all about horses that you might be buying or horses that you have. I want to talk to you about you as a rider. What we've had a lot of here. This is a wide-ranging video. I had a horse in here that if you put him up front, there is not a better horse in the country. If you're with a group of people and he's the first horse, there's not a better horse in the country. If you drop him back a spot or two, he absolutely loses his mind. Now look, I don't know how that horse got in that shape. I really don't. But they do. I rode him a lot, and I got it where it was manageable for me. I still didn't like it, but the owner, there was no way it was manageable for her because she wasn't that confident of rider. And frankly, she didn't want to deal with it. Okay. We sell a lot of horses here. I'm going to tell you what the number one problem is that we have. The number one problem is finding horses that's got a good enough brain that we can sell. Our market is 55 to 78-year-old women. They want a calm, relaxed horse. Those horses are hard to find. They're hard to find. I was talking to one of my trainer buddies the other day and asked me if I was selling a lot of horses. I said, well, I'm just selling 2-year-olds. He couldn't imagine selling somebody a 2-year-old. Number one thing about that is you need to sell them to some experienced riders that knows what they're doing. You know, they are 2-year-olds. But look, you start them things out slow. Our biggest problem in the gaited horse world is everybody gets on there and just takes off, hell-bent for leather. After a while, on a gaited horse, they're wanting to go anyway. And you just keep it up and keep it up and keep it up, and then you want to slow down and enjoy the ride. It's pretty hard to do if that horse wasn't started right. I've got another horse in here that is not going to work for the lady because it's a grade horse, but it's kind of a Rocky Mountain type horse. His feet move all the time. And he'll do pretty good until he decides he don't want to. And when he don't want to, he'll try to rear, he'll try to buck, he'll kick out and up on his tiptoes and just like he's going to explode. Look, not all horses make it in the trail horse world. Not all of them make it. Not all horses are matching you up. We just sold the feather mare to a lady in Wisconsin. She come down here and stayed for 3 days. Rode that horse in the barn. We took her to Eminence on the trail ride. We made sure that she could handle the horse. I don't know anybody that tries to sell a horse keeps people here for 3 days to try out a horse. Our main thing is when we sell a horse, we want it to work. We want it to work for you. There's a lot of things involved in buying a horse. And honestly, I'm evolving. This spring, I've somewhat changed up everything I'm doing here. Because if I've got a horse tied up to the wall, I want to walk up to it and it not flinch. I want it to not step away from you. I want it to stand there. When we get it out and we get it saddled up, I don't want it to move. Don't move a foot. Saddle it up. See what it does. When you get on it, I don't want it to move a hair. Okay? Don't move. I want you to get up there on that horse. I want you to sit down. I want you to move around and pull your britches up. Do whatever you need to do and get comfortable. And that horse sit there and wait on you. Whenever you ask it to walk off, I don't want it to, what I call an explode. I want it to, I don't want it just to take off real quick. I want it just to pick up a foot and walk around. Just walk around with you. And then once you get comfortable on it, look, it's a hell of a thing to drive halfway across the United States to some people you don't know and crawl on a horse you've never seen and ride it. That has got to be miserable for people. It has to be. I believe it would be miserable for me. I could handle it, but I don't want to go somewhere I don't know. I'm looking at a horse. They've told me all this stuff, and me crawl on it and ride it off. Because in all honesty, people are not honest. A lot of people who are trainers, who are horsemen, who are customers, are not honest. They're not honest. You have got to learn to take care of yourself. You got to find out. Another big thing I'm doing here is taking my flag on every horse that we get ready to sell. If we can't ride them and shake that flag, those horses are not ready to sell. You want to know why? Those horses are not broke. They're not broke. We have people bringing horses here for us to train, and they've been riding them, and the darn things ain't even broke. You can't do the simple things that I've just described. Walk up to them and them not move. Get on them and they not move. You know, and just walk off and stay calm. Now, look, there's a reason why those horses come here. Are they great horses? No. They're not, or they wouldn't be sending them here for us to ride. Okay? But those are the things that you want to look at. Those are the things you want to look at. When we have people come here to look at a horse that we have offered for sale, stays in the stall the day before they get here. We don't ride them. When they get here, I want them to open that stall door and walk in there with him. And them not act like an idiot when you walk in there. Not sit there and turn its butt to you. Not sit there and jump back and forth. That's not a broke horse, people. It's not a broke horse. Or if you go to look at a horse and they've already got it tied up, they've got it saddled up, and it's dripping wet with sweat, what you need to do is turn your vehicle around and leave. Don't even get out. That's telling you they have rode that damn thing to death before you got there so it would act right. There's just a lot of things you really need to consider when you go looking at a horse. The number one thing I want you all to understand, for those of you that own horses, not all of them are trail horses. Not all of them are those good, gentle, broke horses. There's some of those horses will not make it. You know, the show industry has a saying, if he don't make it in the show pen, we'll sell him as a trail horse. Well, we have a saying here. If he don't make it as a trail horse, I don't know where he's going. Some of them could wind up in the show pen, because hell, they ain't broke either. I get show horses in here all the time. We completely tear them down to zero and bring them back, because there's a difference in a show horse and a trail horse. There's a different rider in the show pen than there is in the trail pen. Now look, I saw on Facebook the other day, I shouldn't even bring it up, but it was people out on the trail, had a halter on their horse, a shank bit on their horse, and a damn chain running up and around the nose and coming back. I don't know what that was all about, but that was the stupidest thing I ever saw in my life. It was absolutely ignorant. Those people are not horsemen. If you've got a chain coming up around that thing and back up there to the saddle, you've got bad problems. What you've got is a horse that's not broke. And you've got somebody that don't have a clue what they're doing, but they think they do. So look around. There's just a lot of things going on. And what I'm trying to tell you is I'm trying to save you money. I'm trying to save you from not making a mistake. Okay? Look at what you're doing. Look at how the horses act. Now, a lot of other problems that we've had, and I'm going to go ahead and tell it. I had a horse in here. You couldn't get on it. It wouldn't let you on it. The horse came here, saddled it up, let it out in the middle of the barn, and I walked up, stepped my foot in the stirrup, and got on him, and he never moved a hair. Okay, what's the difference between me and the owner? The owner couldn't get on him, but yet I did, and he acted like he was broke. It was it was how I presented myself to the horse just by walking up to it. You have people present themselves to you, and you sit there and look at them, and you think, I don't really like you. Okay? Horses, same way. It's your presentation. We talk about earning trust. A lot of people are riding horses, and they don't trust those horses as far as they can throw them. If you don't trust the animal that you're crawling on, how can your animal trust you? This is a trust issue, and it goes on both ways. It goes both ways. You trusting the horse, the horse trusting you. Excuse me, it's springtime and the pollen's starting to work. But these are some things I want y'all to think about. Think about. And sometimes horses need to go somewhere else and do something else. Or some horses won't work for you. Don't really mean they won't work for somebody else. Sometimes it's oil and water, and you're fighting an uphill battle. And the number one thing you got to do is be honest with yourself and figure out what is going on. So that's just something for y'all to think about. I hope this all helped you. If y'all have any problems whatsoever, you feel free to call Joy and me, and we'll be more than happy to talk to you.